Good afternoon, everyone around the world. Welcome to the Spiritual Millionaires Show. I am your host, Debbie Papadakis. Join us as we interview guests with expertise on a variety of healing modalities. Spiritual Millionaires Radio seeks to expand the awareness of humankind and the power of healing. Our mission is to transform the world by planting positive seeds and having informative discussions about various topics in order to expand the human consciousness. Remember, all change starts within you. Before I introduce our guest today, I would like to remind all of our listeners that we welcome your questions, comments, and guest suggestions. During the show, call us at 714-694-4125 or join us at the chat room and let us know what's in your mind. After the show, dial at 416-760-8996 or email us at debbie@hypno-healing.com or visit us at www.hypno-healing.com. We look forward to hearing from you. And remember, you can download this show from the website www.blogtalkradio.com/spiritualmillionaires. Today's show will feature a discussion with Derek Mills' new book, The 10-Second Philosophy, a practical guide to releasing your inner genius. We're going to talk about how to reclaim your life, how to live your life as your true self. Many of us struggle with that, and we live to someone else's ideals, and we don't even know who we are. And today we're going to learn from Derek how to shift that. Now, Derek Mills, known as the Stutter Guys, is a former stutterer turned international speaker who has created a remarkable philosophy of life change that takes 10 seconds, which he shares with audience all over the world. This philosophy enhanced this new book titled The 10-Second Philosophy helps people all over the world to reevaluate and whole concept of goal setting to live happier, and more fulfilled life. He is featured speaker in the personal development film Keeper of the Keys, which premiered in the U.S. in December 2011, and he shared that with a number of other famous coaches and speakers. He's an international motivational speaker and coach, as well as a senior partner in one of the UK's leading wealth management organizations. Now, welcome, Derek Mills, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Debbie. I appreciate that. How are you?
Wonderful. I'm fine. Excellent. Wonderful. Thank you. How are you doing?
Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, I'm here sitting at in the middle of England, looking out at some relatively blue skies and green trees, and I'm feeling quite relaxed and happy.
Wonderful. Now you have the secret how to help us to become happy in the 10-second philosophy. I would like to know all about it. And before we start, you can give your contact information. Perhaps you can start with your website or email,
yes.
And then we can do that in the end one more time, and then you can tell us about
Absolutely.
This.
Yeah, I mean my contact details are Derek-Mills. That's DEREK-Mills MILLS.com. Derek-Mills.com. And I'm also on Facebook as the Derek Mills, the 10-Second Philosophy, and on Twitter as well. So, and all the contact details and the free downloads are on the website at Derek-Mills.com.
Wonderful.
So thank you for that
now,
opportunity.
I'm very interested, Derek, to find out about this 10-second philosophy. I would like to understand it, and it sounds very interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, simply put, Debbie, it's that every one of us has an opportunity to go inside ourselves and to discover and then release into our lives a genius. And when we do that, the genius can revolutionize our lives. And what I share through the book, the 10-second philosophy book, is that doesn't take 3 years or 30 years on a course or up some mountain. As long as we are able to stop, pause, capture the moment that we are in, and allow ourselves to go inside to who we truly are, to our inner wisdom that we came here with, we can take guidance from that place. And I'm sure you know from my background and from the book, I was a failure in many, many areas, for 18 years, emotionally, spiritually, and definitely financially. And just one question caused me to stop, pause, go inside, and discover what was real for me. And then I have the wherewithal, the guidance from within, and I followed through on that guidance. Within just a few short years, my whole life had changed. And I believe that every single one of us is not as happy as we could be because we're living as a life that's not our own. We need to go inside to discover who we are and live from that place. And the philosophy shares how to do that.
Well, I totally agree that we have to go inside of us. I mean, I'm a hypnotherapist myself, so I help people to go inside and find out first of all, to clear up their conflicts, and then find out where the true power lies in there, and to access that. But you're telling me in 10 seconds, what was the question somebody asked you? What was the question somebody asked you?
Here's the thing. This isn't 10 seconds of therapy. This is 10 seconds of taking the time to go inside, because what after my 18 years of being broke and being near depressed, the question I was asked was from an office security guard, an ordinary person, that asked me one question. The question was, Derek, what time did you get in this morning? And the reason he asked that question is it was nearly 10 o'clock in the evening. And I was asking him for more time, to allow me more time in the office to keep on working, even though I'd been up since 6, on the road at 7, in my office for 8. It was now 8 in the morning, that was. It was now 10 in the evening. And this is my regular pattern for my life, 6 days a week, not seeing my wife, not seeing my children. So you begin to understand, when you're not seeing your wife and your loved ones, your children and people around you, and you're working, you're away from home 16 hours a day, 6 days a week, your life can't possibly be your own. And that's what I realized when he asked me that question. It was just a non-question, but that question caused me to stop. And in that 10 seconds, I realized how poor my life was. And more importantly, like many people listening today, I realized that my life was not even my own. And that, to me, was my first 10-second moment to go, my goodness, the reason I'm not happy is because I'm not who I truly am. This life is not mine. To become happy, I have to work from who I am on the inside and be that person in my life. And that's where my first 10-second moment, and I made a commitment to myself that in that 10 seconds, that if I live one more day on this planet, I would live it as myself, as the true being that I am. And that's when things began to change.
That's right. Wonderful. And how, so after that, what was the next thing you did? Did you stop working as many hours as you used to work before?
Oh, yeah, because what I did is one of the things that came through, once I began to listen, like many of us, most people are in the problems that they're in because they don't trust themselves. By that I mean they don't trust their inner selves. They will rely upon the world and the newspapers and the media and their thinking mind instead of going to their real power, which is the genius in their true self. So when I went into that place in that first 10 seconds, one of the messages that came through to me was to stop setting goals and to instead start living by high daily standards, set from within. And I realized, of course, I must stop setting goals. I've been doing goals for 18 years, like the experts told me to do, but there I was, broke and depressed. So my true self told me that goals don't work. And the fact is, if goals worked, then everyone that you know and I know and all the listeners and everyone that they know, if goals worked, then everyone would be happy and successful because almost everyone sets goals. But they're not. People are not happy and successful. So I stopped setting goals and began to live by high daily standards. So, which are basically, a standard is a new basis, a criteria, a level, a quality or rule that you set from within and you commit to. So I set up new standards for my life, my children, my family, my work, my working hours, the days I would work, the quality of clients, that I wouldn't drive to see clients all over the country, doing thousands of miles a year. I make clients come to me. I changed all the stuff, the whole way of working. I kept going inside of myself and asking the question, what's right for me in this area? Because everything I've been doing in my life up to that point was clearly wrong for me. And I began to ask the question, by going inside, what's right for me in that area? And as a result of following the standards from that place, I became a better husband, father, client, advisor, friend, son, brother. I became better at being me. And of course, when you're being you, you become happier. My biggest success was I found my personal happiness. And that's what success is all about.
Well, congratulations. I totally agree with you. If we connect with ourselves and we come from that powerful place that has all the answers inside of us, we can transform our lives. I totally get it now.
Yeah, I think we can if we trust ourselves. Because I think a lot of people that you know and I know, Debbie, will hear what you've just said and hear what I've just said, but then they stop. Some people do go inside and listen to themselves, maybe when they meditate or in a quiet moment in the bath or whatever. But then they come out of that place and they don't pay attention to the advice that was given on the inside. My shift in my life, which made me, within 3 years of that shift, a millionaire, and then a few years later, I was able to earn $1 million in just 1 year, and then from there became a speaker, mentor, coach to people internationally, executive film producer, author, and all these things, which means that I must have had a genius inside of me all the time. My success and people around me I've advised and mentored, their big breakthrough comes not when they go inside, but when they start to act on the guidance from that place. They begin to take action and live from that place. This is how we turn our lives around, not just by going in, but by taking action daily from that place. By
listening to inside and trusting the answers. The word is trusting.
Yes.
You're right. It's trusting the answers because... go ahead.
Yeah, because if you trust the answers, you begin to live from that place, wouldn't you? You take action from that place. Because if I have a guru on my shoulder, a wise 40,000-year-old guru, if I truly believe what the guru is saying to me, I would follow through and I would take action. I would do things based upon what the guru was advising me. If I didn't really believe, then I wouldn't take the action. So how do I know that I believe? I would look at my actions and see whether I followed through on the guidance that came from that place. So after 18 years of failure in business, I turned my life around virtually overnight by paying attention. Whatever wisdom, if it said to me go right instead of left, I'd go right. Call this person, go to that meeting, use these words, ask this question in the meeting. I followed that because I knew that wisdom was coming from inside of me. It was my inner spirit speaking to me and guiding me. It was my essence. And the more I followed the essence of who I truly was, the more and the happier I became, and the more, quote-unquote, success I achieved. The more people began to turn up and say, how do you turn your life around? And I would say to them, I went inside, listened to my inner voice, followed my intuition, and I took action from that place. And that's what we all can benefit from, because my clients do exactly the same thing.
I totally 100% agree with you. And if we all listen to our internal world, we're all going to be happier. I congratulate you for turning your life around like that, and to share this with not all our people, but everybody around the world. Now, the other question I have for you, I understand you were a stutterer. How did you overcome that? How did you overcome that?
Yeah, I basically was a stutterer from age 13. When my mother died, I was in emotional shock or trauma. And I stayed as a stutterer until my mid to late 20s. And someone heard me speak one day, just in the office, and sent me a rather mean and nasty letter telling me that I couldn't speak properly and that I babbled incoherently. And it doesn't matter what that person's intention was when they wrote that letter to me, but I realized that they were right, that I couldn't speak properly. So from that moment onwards, I went on speaking courses. I didn't go on stuttering courses because I didn't want to be a stutterer. I went on speaking courses because I wanted to learn to speak properly for the second time. And that's what I did. I began just to learn how to speak properly breathing and my emotional state and how I were to hold pictures in my mind and control my breath, I began to learn how to speak properly. Of course, I was still a failure in business while all this was going on. I still hadn't turned my business around. I was still, I learned to speak properly again in my late 20s. But by my late 30s, I was still, age 38, broke and depressed. So the stuttering was really around me recognizing that I was stuck in my life. And how many of us, people listening say, have been stuck in our lives, not knowing what to do, and thinking that where we are stuck is a permanent place? I'm here to share with you, Debbie, and your listeners, that is not true. We are never stuck anywhere permanently. I was 27, 28, 29, and had to learn to speak properly for a second time. Little did I know that by the time I got to my 40s, I'd be speaking around the world, speaking internationally. So we are never stuck as long as we are able to go inside and follow the guidance. My guidance said to me, learn to speak again. Go on these courses to learn how to speak, not to recover from being a stutterer, but to learn how to speak. Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. And I followed that through. And every time it gave me guidance in terms of doing something, and it was only 3 years ago that my inner genius said to me, become a professional speaker. So I became a professional speaker, and that gave me the chance to work and speak all around the world. So every one of us is, at some point in our lives, maybe stuck, and we need to go inside for the wisdom, follow the inner guru, the guru on the inside, to learn and to trust from that place.
That's right. Because by going inside, we can listen only if we allow the fears and the anger and the sadness and negative emotions, limiting beliefs, that all we have to overcome them, to let go of them. And I work with stutterers all the time, and basically we do, we take them back to the original cause, that the time they became stutterer. Was interested that you said my mother, your mother died or something, and
when I was 13, yes.
13, and that's when you become stutterer.
Yeah.
And basically that emotional pain held there as a trauma, and you couldn't express your words, and that's the stuttering started it. Now, I have a question on the computer here from, just a second, from Julia in Chicago. Hi, Julia. Hi, Julia. Thank you for bringing the question here, but let me read it. How do we let go the demands of our life in order to create an ideal standard?
Perfect question. Because what we each have to do is to recognize that we live our life by standards, which are the basis criteria, qualities, levels, and rules that we set up in our life. But here's a problem. Most people do not recognize the standards they're running their life by were probably set up many, many years ago. From their job, their first set of friends, mom, dad, the economy, the environment, the newspapers, the fashions at the time, whatever it might be. And we have 7 key areas of our life. And we all run standards in those areas. What I help people to do is do an exercise just in 4 steps. Firstly, is to take into account what your existing standards are in the 7 key areas of your life. And then ask the question, which of those standards still serve and honor me? If you're 45 years old and you have some standards you've been running since you were 20, maybe they were good when you were 20, but they're not so good for you right now, you're 45. So which of the existing standards that you hold still serve and honor you? And to honor you, of course, means, another way of saying that is to say to remember yourself. To honor yourself means to remember yourself. And the next stage is say, okay, of those standards that do not serve me anymore, is to let go of those standards and to set new standards for your life, for who you are now. From that point onwards, it's about committing to living at that standard just for today. The great thing about standards, Julie, is that you haven't got to live at your standard for the rest of your life. You only have to do it for today. And if the good Lord gives you tomorrow morning, then that's just another today. It's about living by one day at a time. So when goals say to you, set a goal for a year or for 3 years or 5 years or 10 years, that means the pressure's on for 1, 3, 5, 10 years. So stop setting goals. Instead, live by daily standards and commit to sticking to your standards just one day at a time, which helps to get the best of you into your life. And your future is better because the best of you is in your life today, living your daily standards. And by the way, this is not new wisdom. 2,000 years, this is ancient wisdom. 2,000 years ago, Jesus walked on the planet, and he said many things, and he gave us his prayer to remember to recite each day. And in that prayer, 4 words kept coming up for me, and the 4 words were, give us this day. Give us this day, which means be all you can be today, give today, share today, hug today, learn today, find out today, speak your truth today, be all you can be today. And that is how, what he said later in Scripture, he said, have no worry for tomorrow. But as human beings, the only way to have no worry for tomorrow is to make sure that we are living at our best sense, the greatest of ourselves today. So I created a program which does that for you, which takes you through the 4 steps of setting standards, with first reviewing your old standards and setting new ones that will empower you today and get the best of your life. And that's on my website. The document is called Perfect, Perfect. It's called the Perfect Life Standards System. And perfect is really a mnemonic for the 7 key areas of our life.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Yeah. So people can go on your website, and can you give us your website one more time?
Yeah. The document is the perfect standards system. It's a free download which helps you to start to begin to review your standards, to set new ones, and to do a commitment process that you go through. The website is www.derek, that's DEREK -mills.com. And you also get a free audio. Both the download and the audio are free. Just go there, help yourself, and hopefully you can then begin to see where your old standards come from, notice which ones don't serve you anymore, and set new ones. And the great thing about setting standards, we only have to stick to them until you get your head back on your pillow tonight. And God willing, if you wake up in the morning, that's just one more day to stick to your standards. You haven't got to do this for the rest of your life. You only have to do it as God gives you life, which is one day at a time. So I hope that helps you.
Oh, thank you, Julie. That was a great question, and you, Derek, you explained it wonderfully. And I totally believe in that we have to, and I can learn from you because I am not following all my internal power, and I'm connected, but not always. So I need to read your book and to perhaps do some of your exercises because it seems to be incredible. Now I have another question.
Okay.
From let me. I only have 4 minutes left. But the question
I'll be quick.
You'll be quick, but let me read it. In Toronto. Okay, Douglas from Toronto. Goals give us direction. Without goals, will we get lost? Can you really achieve anything in life without goals? Now, obviously, this person is very goal-oriented. You lose sight of where you need to be and how to get there. I'm sorry.
Here's the thing. We've been told that goals are the thing to do to achieve success and happiness for the last 100 years. Yeah, plus. How's that working out for you? That would be my question. How's that working out for you and people that you know? How's that working out for the world? Not very well, eh? Because if goals were things we needed to do, everyone you know would be happy and successful because everyone's done that. It doesn't work for most people. So the most spiritual teachers on the planet don't set goals because they know that it takes them into mind instead of into spirit. It pulls them into the ego drive. That's the ego driving.
It's not that we don't. It's the ego driving, and also we don't follow the goals. We make 20 goals.
We don't, and they make you feel that you haven't achieved, that you haven't had the success. There's a gap. There's a million reasons why goals don't work, but you can ask the next million people that you speak, and maybe 3% of them achieve their goals. The question is, what about the other 97% that didn't achieve their goals? Goals don't work. So if you look at teachers like Eckhart Tolle, Wayne Dyer, these guys don't set goals. No, because they recognize goals cause a disconnect between who you truly are and your true ability. Try this. Start setting standards from who you truly are, what's called your true self, and from that place you will be able to release the true genius that you are into your life. And when you're acting as your true genius, you will find your own purpose and your own energy, and you can turn your life round, you can turn your life on in an enormous way. If you go to the website, you'll see the testimonials of people who've done exactly this. Living by standards, discovering their true self, turning their lives around after years of setting goals. So really quick question to your listener there, and that is that if goals worked, how come the world is the way it's like? Why is the world the way it is? If goals worked, how's things working out for all the friends that you've got that haven't achieved them? How come? And if you talk to a million teachers, they'll all tell you that their system of setting goals is slightly different. No, here's why there is a million different ways, because goals don't work. If they worked, we'd all be happy and successful. Use standards, keep true to yourself. Goals take you away from your true self, put you into the future, and the goals say to you, when I achieve you, I'll be happy. And you spend the whole of your life trying to achieve and trying to become happy. Your happiness stays in the future. And let me tell you something. The reality about happiness is a now experience. It's not for the future, it's for now. So anything that says to you, when you can have this and do that and have this and have that, then you'll be happy, that can't be true for you, can it? Happiness is a now experience. It's time for a shift.
Sounds so incredible, and I thank you so much. We have actually 2 more minutes, and I would like you to, if you have any final thoughts, I know the show's very short right now, but if you have any final thoughts for our audience, and I need a minute to close the show. Thank you.
Okay, I would say firstly begin to trust yourself. And the genuine question is, if goals make you happy and successful, how come everybody hasn't got that? So trust yourself. Take some time. Go to the website. Download the document. Find a quiet space for yourself. Sit down and go inside and answer those questions. And then begin to trust yourself. So you don't need a 40,000-euro guru. You just need you. Trust yourself. Thank you.
That sounds so wonderful. It actually was very inspiring for me to listen to you, Derek. I have to follow some of your standards, because I'm almost there, but not quite there, because I can be there for a little while and then I take off, and I don't really set goals, but I guess I do some level, and I have to more trusting my internal self and go for it. And I thank you. I would like to thank Derek Mills today for sharing his knowledge and time with us today. And I would like to remind all of our listeners here at the Hypno Healing Institute, we offer a free download, MP3 download, The Art of Sleeping, where you can, when you sign up with our newsletters, go to the www.hypno-healing.com or call us at 416-760-8996. And we have the events are coming up, the Professional NGH Hypnosis Certification Training is coming up, the 9-day summer program, which is July 6th, and then we have the fall program, September 20th, and then we have many other classes already assigned. We have the Mastery Hypnosis Training, July 16th, and the Advanced Self-Hypnosis with Dr. Ross is coming up September 6th, and the workshop coming up actually in a couple of days, the Communicating with the Subconscious Mind, the Journey to the Akashic Record, and so on. Please go on our website and find out all about our work, and we'll be happy to have you, or give us a call for anything that you need to know further than that. Now, I'm going to 90 seconds I have. I guess if I have only 20 seconds left, Derek, do you have any, perhaps you give your information for the 10 seconds, and then the rest, I would like to close with a poem today.
You can find the book on Amazon, or you can go to my website, and it will take you through all the approaches of how to set standards, all the exercises, and how it will revolutionize your life. It will do that. It will bring your true genius into your life, and every single one of us is a genius when we go inside instead of going outside. Goals are a construct of the world. We need to become ourselves and get our genius into our lives. Thank you
so much, Derek. Thank you. Now, I'm going to end the show today with our poem again. How to live instead of exist. Feel when you touch, observe when you look, absorb when you read, listen when you hear, understand when you listen, consider when you think, endorse acceptance, promote hope, focus on your dream, follow your path instead, and intend what you want, allow your energy to flow, strive to fulfill your dreams, connect with your oneness. Love is always here. Read and grow for chance, become the solution, be still and listen the answers that are within you, ignite your power and inspire peace. Know your true self. I'm going to bypass a few things, and I'm going to say the final ones will be follow your internal. Derek, you tell me. Give me a word, because all these statements.
Follow your inner wisdom. Follow your inner genius. Follow your inner spirit. Be your true self. Your inner genius. Your inner wisdom. You came here with this wisdom. You came here into this life with it. Be that. That's why you're here.
Thank you. Derek, you know, this poem is from different people that I interview. They give me the words.
I get it.
And yours will be from now on every week. We'll be listening to follow your inner wisdom or your inner genius. That will be yours. Wonderful. And it will stay with us forever. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. We have 2 seconds left. We're going to close the show today. I know it was very short, but it was very powerful. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you again, perhaps in the future, in 6 months or so. Call us
Definitely,
back
we will.
again so you can give us more information. God bless you all, and
God bless.
Keep a wonderful around the world. Just send your blessings and your love to everybody. Thank you so much, Derek, and everybody else, all the listeners, and all the people who send us the information. Bye-bye. Thank you. Join us